Hello and welcome to Just Go With It. My name is Ben. This is Jared. Today we are talking about Bad Batch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Star Wars show. It's
It
a
is.
Would you say spin-off of Clone Wars or just like kind of a spin-off? They were
Yeah.
introduced in Clone Wars.
Yeah, like a
But
continuation, I would say.
it's a
'Cause it's
spin-off, but I would say spin-off has a bad connotation. It's definitely its own thing.
Yeah,
It's more of a
it is.
branch off than a spin-off.
It is.
So I know you're interested in my thoughts.
Yeah, we haven't talked about this at all. We've watched this separately. I watched season one when it came out. So it's been a bit. I don't remember season one a whole bunch. There's a few things I remember I want to talk about, but we'll get to that. Season two, I just
Now,
watched. Literally finished it today.
so point of clarity, I am not a Star Wars guy. I don't care about Star Wars. I have all the apathy in the world for Star Wars. I respect it for what it is, but I just don't care. This show made me care.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I was actually going, I'm going to go home and watch more Bad Batch. I was excited to watch it. And it's such a
What?
random show to be like, yay.
Oh my God. Okay, I was not expecting that at all. Like,
Here's the
what
thing.
the heck?
I think that for the longest time, everybody would cram Star Wars down your throat saying it's the best thing ever. And then they would always point to like the movies. The movies are always, Jedi, Skywalker Saga, yada yada. And it was all this like just crap. This was just like, oh, this is like actual interesting, like what just normal people went through.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
not that I'm against Jedi or any of that stuff. That stuff can be interesting, but it was just kind of like, here's the world.
yeah.
Not like this one family's story in this ginormous universe.
Yeah. So this is a review of season one and two.
Yeah.
I gotta know, like, what did you have any like standout moments? Did you prefer season one or season two? Like, what are your thoughts?
Point of clarity, because I watched them all back to back, and when you binge watch something like that, it kind of all blurs together.
Okay.
And you finished watching it, what, today?
I finished watching season two today. Yeah.
I finished watching it like a week ago.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I don't remember details as much.
Um, then I'll say a few things. I definitely preferred season two over season one.
Okay.
Season one felt more of like,
I like the
here's
beginning
the
of season one.
here's the okay, point of clarity. Yeah, the first episode, top tier.
Which was
Like,
basically a movie.
yeah, when everything's
It's like an hour
happening,
long.
like Order 66 is going down, the Emperor's like giving all these like orders and stuff, and then oh, what's his name in the first episode? I don't think it's a spoiler because it's the first episode. Kanan Jarrus, whatever his name was as a kid.
Yes.
Him
Yes.
showing his backstory
Caleb?
too. Caleb Dune. Yeah. That just, I remember episode one sticking out so much in my mind and me being like, holy crap, this is going to be like the best Star Wars show ever. And then
notes.
season one just kind of went like, oh, here's the adventure of the week, like
Yeah, I was gonna say
'cause
it kind of fell into that.
it was a weekly show. And so it was like you'd wait around a whole week and then it was just like, oh, here's one thing that happened, and then they immediately solve the problem and then they go to the next planet. Season two, I felt had more of like, okay, here's the overarching story. Here's like, okay, there's this, without any spoilers, like, okay, there's this doctor and stuff, and he's like doing things. There's this plot, like, what's going on? It's getting more into like like leaving the clones behind and moving on to stormtroopers and like having to deal with all that. And I just found season two a lot more interesting. And I also felt like Omega wasn't as annoying because I really didn't like her in season 1.
I didn't find her annoying necessarily. I just found her kind of why. You know,
Yeah.
why was she there?
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
season 2, she feels more appropriate
Hmm.
because like they go into more of them trying to raise this child basically. And
Yeah.
how Hunter is like basically like a father and him learning how to do this and that whole thing of like, okay, we have this kid. How do we take care of this kid while
Yeah.
still doing the things we need to do?
Yeah.
Because we can't just leave her because she'll be killed basically or abducted or whatever. But dude, I know we're only like 5 minutes in, but I really just want to talk about it. Can we get past the like
Yeah.
non-spoiler stuff?
We can go spoilers. I'll just say then, I definitely think it's worth your time.
Yes.
There's
Yes,
some
I would say
episodes
so.
that are slower than others, but I definitely feel like it's worth it if you stick it through. And we haven't even started season 3 yet. They just released the first 3 episodes tonight as of when we're recording this. So I'm really excited to watch this weekly with you now and watch this final season and see like what happens.
Yeah.
So spoilers.
I'm right there. Worth your time. Spoiler time because I want to talk about it so bad. I'm just like, yes. Okay. I cannot wait till we're actually talking about individual episodes so we can really go deep down. But like,
okay,
I am like, because I don't realize how much I've absorbed just by like being around Star Wars and like watching the shows casually, and I'm like, oh, I knew nothing about the Kaminoans. Now I learned like what happened to that facility. I knew nothing about what happened to the cloning facility or their people or any of that.
As far as I
Now we
know,
know.
this was when it was revealed what happened. Like it never was talked about in books or anything like that. At least as far as I know. So this is pretty cool. And I mean, this is definitely like a necessary thing to watch now because huge stuff like that happens in the show.
Yeah. One point that they didn't really talk about, but they kind of like deep down, you're like, oh, that's really sad. They age like 5 times faster.
Yeah. I didn't really think about that until
the one that has like kids.
Yeah.
He's going to be old by the time they're adults. And I mean old by the time they're adults. What does that mean will his kids age that fast? Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, they really were just used and abused.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no, Omega wasn't aged because she's obviously a kid.
That was my question. Because I don't remember. Was she different? Was she like an unaged clone?
Well, she's a kid.
Yeah, I know, but like, does she not age fast?
As far as I understand, yes, she does not age fast.
So she's like Boba
she's
Fett. How Jango Fett wanted one clone that was
unaltered.
Without the
she's altered as far as I know. I just don't know how.
Yeah,
she doesn't age, fast. I don't know what makes her special. I don't know if like the more clones you make, the more diluted it becomes. She's just like a prime clone, kind of like like a refresh point to get new clones from, or what that whole thing is. Why is she the only female clone?
Yeah,
like, what's that about?
Yeah, well, I feel like we might get more into that in season 3 with it ending with the cliffhanger of that doctor lady being her sister or something.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You just said that. Holy freaking cow.
Like that was kind of a big reveal.
I don't think Tech's dead.
I don't think Tech's dead either.
We did not see it die. The doctor dude had his goggles. That doctor dude totally found him.
He's and then fine.
Tech and Crosshair are going to break out of that facility, save Omega, and they're going to come back together and be one big happy family.
Yeah,
and
Tech's fine. He's got to be fine. Like, I need to see a person freaking decapitated.
Yeah.
I need to see a person decapitated in Star Wars to actually believe they're dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's literally with comic book logic, like nobody's ever really dead,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I gotta admit, For a second, I was like, no tech. Like when he said like,
I was like, they actually had the balls to do it.
yeah, and you know what? To
'Cause
leave
the
it
first-
for a whole season,
Yeah.
and leave it on that cliffhanger. You know, this is still a kid's show. You know,
And of
It's-
course, they did it right after they flushed out Tech's character.
yeah, and they gave him a little love interest and everything.
Yeah,
like
good old
that.
brown
And
eyes.
yeah, he doesn't know how to like properly be
Yep.
a love
Mhm.
interest.
That was like
But,
cute.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this more. Like going back into it, I was like, man, I don't know how Ben's gonna feel about this. Like, I don't know if he's gonna like it. And then I got like really into season 2
Yeah.
because I was putting off getting back into it, but I really liked it. I'm excited for season 3. I really am.
I'm right there with you, dude. I would love to see. I don't want more, adventure of the week. We don't need that.
Yeah,
We need
yeah.
actual story that means actual. Even if they go instead of mainline, this is mainline Star Wars, even if they go that way, that's
Mhm.
fine. But just like an actual story.
Yeah. One standout episode for me, because I can't remember a bunch because I don't remember like hardly any from season
I
1.
remember an episode that I liked.
But one standout for me was the one with the senator, and she was like trying to prove about the destruction of Camino, and then she did prove it, and then all of a sudden it's in that like big political room with all the
yes,
like little senators and stuff, and then
And
all of a
that
sudden the emperor just
Emperor
shows up.
just like twists it.
Yeah,
puts it
and
on
he's
its
like,
head,
oh
and
man,
it's like,
that's terrible.
That's
But anyway.
yeah. How yeah, that's terrible. And like we should totally get rid of the clones because look
Yeah.
at this. It's
Yeah,
like
look,
can't
they
trust
followed
them.
orders so easily. They didn't even think about it.
It's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, but like I just love how it was just like full on, here's the emperor. Like no build up, no nothing. It's just like, oh here he is. Like
I
yes,
like-
that's what I want to see.
I like how they explained why they changed from clones. Because it wasn't about skill. It wasn't about, ability. It was about like loyalty. And we don't mean like indoctrination. We mean actual I guess that is indoctrination. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
programming, if that makes sense, but actual loyalty.
Yeah.
Like that's what they valued because they knew what they were going to do.
Yeah.
Clones did rebel
Yeah.
because the clones were technically good people.
Yeah.
At least a lot of them were.
Now,
Oh,
I don't
my
know if you caught this or not, but the second to last episode when Grand Moff Tarkin and the doctor guy are all in that room full of other higher ups and stuff,
Mhm.
they mentioned director Krennic, and
Krennic?
he's in the room. Yeah, that's the guy from Rogue One.
Yeah,
The-
correct.
Yeah. So it was cool to see him too, just like randomly show up. And then
Yeah.
they mentioned Project Stardust, which is the Death Star.
Yep.
So I really am excited to see where that kind of goes too. What else they
This
talk
is-
about in
this
season
is-
3.
This is completely out of left field. Just because you talking about Project Stardust and everything reminded me of it. Did you know that we see Starkiller Base in Jedi Survivor? No, not Jedi Survivor. First one.
Starkiller Base, you mean the Death Star?
No.
Starkiller Base? Like episode 7 Starkiller Base?
I believe.
Wow. I did not know that. I didn't even know that was like a thought then.
So what it was it the first game,
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, thank you. The planet where you get your lightsaber.
Mhm.
It's like the famous planet that you always get your crystal. If you go
Okay.
back there after the storm is gone, it's literally it's the trench.
Wow.
And it's
okay.
because the Death Star isn't as big as a freaking planet,
Yeah,
it's
and
smaller than a
Starkiller
moon.
Base is bigger.
but this
yeah.
is literally a planet.
Yeah.
So and it looks like Starkiller Base.
Yeah.
It's off the wall, completely random. I just thought that was neat.
Well, we're going to stay off the walls for a second because we're going to do a little sidebar.
Okay.
So, Okay. Now that we've gotten you a little more into Star Wars, we
Okay.
need to figure out what you haven't seen. So you have not
Question.
seen? Yes.
Would you say that Bad Batch, obviously not the same, but in a similar vein as Andor? Because I heard Andor is really good.
Andor is fantastic. It is some of the
Okay.
best Star Wars content to come out in forever.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay,
I'm down
so
for that.
we need to watch Andor. You haven't seen Ahsoka, right?
Here's the thing with Ahsoka.
Uh-huh.
I like her as a character. I don't know that I can stand her for an entire show.
It's mainly season 5 of Rebels. Sabine is a main character. Hera is a main character. You know, the entire thing, the entire plot of Ahsoka is trying to find Ezra, pretty much.
Okay.
So I
Eh,
feel like you'll be more into it.
I,
What
I
do you
I
think?
do like her as a character. It's just I don't know. I'm used to the Clone Wars portrayal, and she's a little bit annoying there.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
Have you seen the Kenobi show?
no, I heard it was pretty trash. I've seen this. I've seen the clips of Leia running from the dudes where they're
We
just
don't talk about
incompetent.
Leia. There's good stuff in the Kenobi show, I promise. And then,
I do like the Kenobi and Maul interaction at the end of Clone Wars.
oh my God, yeah, it's
Remember that?
amazing.
Where they finally
Yeah,
meet up again at like the end of like the seventh season, like the new like
yeah,
redone. Yeah,
yeah.
that part was dope.
Um, and then have you watched Mandalorian?
I have.
Okay.
I've watched. I started watching Boba Fett. It fell off because it just kind of got.
Yeah,
Eh.
we watched it together, I think, Boba Fett.
I don't think we finished it. At least I
No,
didn't.
we got to Cad Bane. I remember Cad
Yeah,
Bane. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Cad
but
Bane is
anyway,
all over the freaking place, man.
I know Cad Bane's always showing up.
It's
He's
like
gonna
they're
be in
like,
season
okay,
3
we
of
can't, we
Bad
can't do
Batch. I'm calling
Skywalkers,
it
so we're
now.
doing bad. We're doing Cad Bane. We can't do
I'm calling it
Skywalkers.
now. He's gonna show up season 3 of Bad Batch.
He
Was
was
he
in
already in
season
season
two.
1? Was he in season
Yeah,
1?
he was already in Bad Batch.
Never mind. I forgot he was
And
in
then
season
and then
1.
Fennec was there too.
I remember that. And I also
She was
remember
there.
those two
And I was
girls
like, oh, they
from
got
the
the
end
actual like actress to play her voice. I was like, okay.
yeah. And then the two random girls that were hanging out with Ahsoka at the end of Clone Wars season 7,
And yeah, they were
randomly showed up.
there. I recognized them. I was like, huh? I was like,
I know.
okay.
I was like,
Why?
those two
They were
girls from the
like
forgettable
one-off
episodes?
characters. Why are they a thing? For a giant galaxy, it's very small.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
But the
Okay.
Force acts in mysterious ways.
Mm. But I don't know if I'm ready to rate this. I feel like I'll want to rate it after season 3.
I feel like we can't rate the show till the show's done.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will say that it's worth it. We've already said
It-
it, but it is worth it.
Yeah. And I'll also say, as I said before, I do not
rated
think
it.
Tech's dead.
We rated the first season of Halo. We probably should rate
Did
this.
we?
We
Okay.
did. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a good 8 out of 10. There's room to grow, but it is pretty good.
I was gonna say the same thing.
It's solid, but there's it's not like perfect. It's not
Yeah.
chef's kiss, but it's still
I
a
will
tasty
say
meal.
this. There are some episodes that are 6s, and there are some
Yeah.
episodes that are 10s.
And I'm being optimistic when I say 8 out of 10. Obviously, more realistically, it's more probably middle of the road, like 6 or 7. But I'm being optimistic and saying 8. 'Cause I
Yeah,
just enjoyed
like
it
some
that
of those
much.
last few episodes, I swear, like the last 3 episodes were pretty much 10s for me. Like they were
Yeah.
intense. They were good.
Yeah.
Also,
The whole, like-
randomly, another thought, the Xylo Beast randomly showing back up. I was like, oh my God, the freaking Xylo Beast.
Okay, like I recognize the Xylo Beast, but I don't remember the significance of it.
It was, so, if I remember correctly, it was like season 2 of the Clone Wars. It randomly showed up and they
Was that the one
captured
that
it.
is resistant to lightsabers?
Yeah, it was huge. So like they had to use the like light cannons or something to eventually kill it. But I'm pretty sure like after it, because they captured it and then it attacked Coruscant. I'm 99% sure at the end of that, Palpatine's like, oh, keep this, let's figure something out with it or something like that. And it left that. And I remember saying to my friend, like, oh, do we ever like figure out what happened? And this was before the Bad Batch even came out. And
I
he
guess
was like,
they started
no.
it and it went back down, and then
Well, they cloned it. That's what they said.
oh, it was a clone.
It was a clone. Yeah. So,
Okay.
but I remember my friend being like, no, they never go back into that. And now watching this, I'm like, man, I gotta text him and be like, yo, they went back into that finally. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with the show. I'm excited to watch season 3 with you.
Yes.
Because like I want to hear your reactions to things.
I like screamed when Gunji showed up. I'm like, Gunji!
Yeah.
You don't know who Gunji is, do you?
I don't.
The little Wookiee Jedi?
Oh. Why
He was
did
in
you
Clone
say he
Wars.
showed up? He was?
He was in Clone Yes. It's a stupid little episode, but it's such a cute episode in Clone Wars where all the younglings, Yoda like takes them to get their kyber crystals.
Yeah.
And it's stupid and silly, but it's just adorable. And
Yeah.
Gunji is one of those little, younglings. He has to learn patience.
You know, for
Little
someone who
Gunji.
doesn't like Star Wars, you seem to like Star Wars.
I like aspects of Star Wars. Okay. Gunji is adorable.
Yeah.
He had a
he's
wooden
cute little
lightsaber
Wookiee.
because he's from a jungle planet. It
That is
reminds him of his
cool.
home.
Yeah. I also really, I know we keep going on this. I really liked that like treasure hunting episode. It felt like an Indiana Jones throwback.
I liked when they went back to what's his face's place. Oh, Count Dooku.
I don't remember.
They
that.
went back to his like castle or whatever to like loot his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was dope. I mean, not
Yeah.
much happened there, but still the whole thought of it, just even that fact that they went back there was dope.
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm
I
excited
don't
to
remember
see
that
the
too much.
Saz
I think that
Ventress.
was season 1. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with her too. That's gonna be cool. All right, this has been a long one. We'll end it here,
Yeah, this is a good one.
but I'm
All
excited.
right. Well, we're gonna have to look at seasons 3, and might be good, might be bad, who knows? But
You're just gonna
I
have
was
to go
wait-
with it.
I was gonna say, are you gonna say it?
I wanted to say it.